I'm not saying it's great. I don't like doing them like this anymore, but I used to do a lot of cleanups like this. Here's why I'm okay with it. I don't have to spend time at the dump. Nothing in there. Alright, so it's leaf season, and you're wondering, like a solo operator or maybe two guys, how much work can you get done in a day? And it really depends on the jobs. Like, this is an unusual one. They put the leaves here, and I just shred it up, and then they'll put the leaves in their beds and use it, you know, as compost for the soil. Totally cool with that. And in the past I've done big cleanups on this one. This one drops a lot of leaves. So I'm surprised that's all the leaves that are back here. So he must have bagged a lot. But that's cool. But really for me it's about anywhere from 2 to 4 properties. You know, larger cleanups, full cleanups. So let's go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you another easy one here in a second. Alright, in this video I'm going to show 2 projects where I did not haul away any leaf material, because I know what it's like having a setup where you can't haul away material. For my first couple years I mulched everything, not because I wanted to or because I thought mulching a ton of leaves into a lawn was great, but because I had to, because I didn't have a setup to haul away. I mean, I had a real tiny trailer and I would haul away some, but what I would do is shred them like I am right now. So I'd get them all into a pile, and then I would shred it up until it was as small as I could get it, and then I would put it in trash cans or tarp it and put it in the trailer. In the beginning I used trash cans. I found out that I didn't really like that so much, but that really comes down to personal preference. Now, if you were watching the technique I did there, basically what I did is I spun around, shot everything inward, and then the pile got real thick, and I actually shot them over to the left of the screen, and then I shot them over right. Basically got them back in the pile, and then now I'm blowing all the little nonsense debris back over to where the mower can get to it, and then I'm gonna shred it up to a pile. But the client wants me to leave this there. They're gonna actually use it for, you know, making potting soil and putting it in their flower beds around certain plants. So I'm totally cool with that. They normally have me leave a good sized pile here every year, and then by the spring when I go to mow, it's all gone, so happy about that. But yeah, I normally do a full cleanup on this property and then leave a pile here as well. Okay, at this property, it's kind of a, I would say, a budget cleanup. We're just gonna blow off the sidewalks, driveways, porches, curb line. I'm gonna do a quick shred on the lawn. I'm not gonna make it look pristine. We're not touching the beds. It's kind of an odd one. We come and do one initial cleanup like this, and then I come back in January. Normally it's November, December, January. This year it'll just be December, January. And then it's not part of my leaf cleanups, but I always come in February and I start doing my spring cleanups, and that's getting everything prepped. But yeah, we don't touch the beds on this one. She actually has it's a friend of mine. She's starting her company, calling it the Garden Goddess. She comes and does the flower beds and stuff, which is really cool. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Okay, so as far as techniques go on this, my mower moves without me. Anyways, I'm gonna run the mower down the curb line and just kick up a bunch of these leaves. I mean, you can kind of see him plowing in front of the mower for a second, and then Aaron's gonna come behind me and he's blowing them onto the turf, whatever's left. That's just a way to make you know, the job a little easier on Aaron. You always got to remember that whenever you're working with somebody, you are a team, and so the mower's there to help whatever other piece of equipment, whether it's Weedeater or blower, and the Weedeater or blower is there to help the mower. So you just kind of keep each other in mind. So you notice, like right here, I stopped him and I said, "Hey, I need you to move to this section of the property," because I knew I was about to trash out the I'm about to trash out the street a little bit, and then we're going to come back in and blow that back on the turf later. But I don't want him to have to stand there the whole time thinking that's what I need him to do. So you have to let your employees or whoever's working with you know exactly what's going on, so they have a clear picture. Like, I've done this cleanup multiple times, and he's never done it with me. So if that's the case where you got somebody with you and you're like, man, they're just not doing what I want them to do, it's because you're not clearly communicating what to do. So let's go ahead and get into the actual cleanup. What I'm doing here is I'm breaking the yards into little sections. So you saw me do the first one was that strip on the side. Now I'm going to break this piece into 2 different sections, and I'm just going to round up the leaves and then mulch them up. And then I do kind of a pass to clear them. So like I said, this isn't about 100% getting every leaf off the property, because it's just not going to happen on a budget. But it's just about shredding them up. And you know, when you do mulch them, they're not going to move off the turf a whole lot. They're not going to blow into neighbors' yards and make the neighbor mad. You know, it's just going to make their yard look a little better. And then after it rains or snows and they get wet and they'll settle in the turf, you know, it'll clean up a lot better. So when you first leave it, sometimes it's like, man, that does not look awesome. If you get done mulching and you're like, that doesn't look as good as you'd like it, just do one more pass like you were actually mowing it, and it'll disperse the leaves better and it'll go away. In this case, on this scenario, man, that's a massive oak above me, and it dumps a lot of leaves. So I know there's only so much I can actually polish this area, because it's a decent sized turf, but in certain sections I don't have much turf. So like between the street and that tree, there's not a whole lot to be done. Now this is the front. So basically I just broke that front section into 4 segments. I guess 5 if you count that little area. And you know, if you're concerned about me blowing stuff towards the flower beds, that's totally okay. They actually like me to do that over the winter. It insulates some of the plants they've planted, and that's just what they tell me to do. So I mean, you can always work something out with clients. At one point in time when I first picked this up, I was cleaning every leaf off the property, and it was kind of expensive, and that's not what they wanted. They wanted me to come a few times a year for a smaller amount and just shred them up, and I'm completely okay with that. That's a lot easier on my body. Alright, so I've just got this little segment over here, and then the front yards, this is it. We'll dust off the curb line, but that's it, man. It's not pretty, right? But it's cheap. You know what I mean? If they've got a budget, fall in line with their budget if you can. A property like this, to clean up all the leaves from all those big trees, it's a lot of money, man. So like I said, I'm going to be coming back in January. It's going to get another pass. So by then it'll rain, everything will change a little bit. Leaves will blow out from the beds a little more, and then I'll get them another pass and I'll polish it up. The idea is to have it looking good. Now over here has always been a problem area. It gets real thick. That's about as good as shred. Now we are going to bust them off of any trees. I don't like them sitting up against the trees. I don't want to cause problems there. But as far as the lawn goes, you get what you pay for. If that's what they request, okay. If they're okay with that and they understand that, I've been working for them for I think around 5 years, so they know. And they ask it to be done this way. They request that I not haul them away because they know it's a little more expensive, and I'm totally cool with that. So like I said, that is what it is. We're about 30 minutes in on the project, so a decent amount done real fast. Down to the backyard. Alright, so the backyard is kind of a rinse, wash, repeat of the front yard, but you know, that is what it is. Anyways, as far as my properties go for mowing, you know, because you've seen this property a little bit so far, and you can kind of tell it's a larger property. This is the largest mowing property that I have. It's right around 20,000 square feet, I believe. And when I'm mowing, start to finish, solo, it takes me about 25 minutes. That's with a 36-inch mower, And that's mainly because even though there's a lot of obstacles and stuff in the backyard, there's not a whole lot of weed eating. It's very fast. There is a good amount of edging though. Alright, so if you're still learning how to mulch your yard, pay attention to what I'm doing here. This is how you would do it, just a mower, okay? So shooting it all in a circle, I'm eating up the big piles, I get it real small, and then I'm going to shoot it in a circle again, and I'm actually going to go outward with it, okay? And I'm only taking off a few inches at a time on each pass there. That's going to disperse it, and then I'm doing a cleanup pass where you get like a final dispersing. And then if you really want to polish it up more than that and make it look like there was never any leaves, you'd give it one more pass just like you were mowing it. And it's going to clean it up real nice, okay? This client pays me a certain amount and says, do what you can. So I get on it, I do what I can. That does not involve a whole lot of polishing passes. I used to clean it up and just polish, spend 3 or 4 hours making it look awesome. But that's because I just did not really get business at the time. And you know, now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need to make a certain amount an hour so that we're, you know, meeting our numbers on everything there, so that we're making money. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what it is, and they fully understand that. You're gonna have this growth of progression with clients as you know, get into business. Okay, so right here I'm shooting it all into the beds because it was so thick I knew it wasn't going to disperse on the lawn. I'm shooting it to the beds. But you're going to have a growth with clients where they're either going to drop you or they're going to understand that things are changing because they see you're not making money for a while. Like, it was very clear if somebody were to look at my setup or, you know, whatever, that I wasn't making a whole lot of money. Some people think I'm making money. I wasn't making money. And you just have to be honest with yourself, because like for a long time I was like, yeah, I'm killing it, I'm making money. Well, I really wasn't. What's up, baby? You heading to school? Mm-hmm. I love you. Can I kiss? Mm-hmm. Love you, baby. All right. There you go. That's a little window in my life. When do I edit videos? It is either real early in the morning or late at night, while my wife and daughter are asleep. Sometimes I'm in here after work, but yeah, man, I'm doing it while they're asleep. All right, that's that for the backyard. Not too bad. You know, kind of is what it is. The main thing is not getting every leaf cleaned up. Look, there's still leaves. Still leaves, right? They just want it to be, you know, better. Polish it up. Not polish. That's not a polish. They just want the bulk of it gone. And if that's what they want, that's what I'm going to give them, you know? Because if they got the money, I got the time. And if they don't have the money, I got to limit my time. Now there's one more section up front, and then I'm out of here. So overall, I find this to be a pretty good method, and I do this on a decent amount of properties, especially as we're going into winter. So you get less of the refined cleanups and more of the mulching or budget. You know, they waited for all their leaves to drop and they're trying to, you know, get a real good price. Be careful as we're going into winter. You'll have people that want you to work for free, because the desperation is thick in the winter. You know what I mean? Like, not a whole lot of jobs. If you're going in broke, be careful. Price right. All right, that's that. It's not anything special, but it's, you know, better. I'm not saying it's great. I don't like doing them like this anymore, but I used to do a lot of cleanups like this. Here's why I'm okay with it. I don't have to spend time at the dump. Nothing in there.